As we know, JDM is the new champion of the world, meaning Islam's going up. And I saw Buckley make a post. It is pretty crazy. Inshallah is crazy because Islam has been preying on Bilal's downfall. Then it's crazy Bilal has to go all the way back to the line. Yeah, he's not the most exciting fighter, but the people he's beat, he should be a guy who's still right there. Okay, go get another win, maybe 2 wins, and you're back for a title shot. And it's crazy because Bilal will probably never contend for another title ever again. Wild. But legacy, brother. He said he's not going to vacate his lightweight title, and I think that's a huge mistake. I think it's a huge mistake for Islam to not vacate that lightweight title because he needs to fully commit. And I do mean fully commit to 170. Plus, I'm sure he's bulking up. I'm sure he's getting the size and all that. Because, yeah, he's already a big guy. He probably could come in with the same physique, but you want to get bigger. You want to get more muscular because those guys at 170 really could be fighting at 185, some of them at least. So you want to bulk all the way. And what we've seen is when a fighter goes up, it usually takes 2 fights for them to really get into that weight class's shape, body frame. Not body frame, but muscle mass. Not have the awkward body fat. You know what I mean? Like Alex Pereira. His debut at light heavyweight, he was kind of fat. Then, okay, one more fight in, his body's more used to it. The cut's more natural because there is actually a cut now because he's put on the correct size, the right way. And plus, he's not coming back. So do what Ilya did, which was the right thing. Drop the title. Let whoever's fighting at International Fight Week fight for the vacant title. Don't leave that door open. When Volk did it, it made sense because Volk said he's going to keep both divisions busy. And it makes sense. That made sense. Islam, you're not going to keep both divisions. You're not going to keep them busy. You're actually going to hold them up. And I'm tired of interim titles, interim champions. Ilya did the right thing. We don't need interim champion at lightweight. Sorry. If Ilya or Charles wins, they don't need to win the interim championship. Because they're not gonna compete with Islam, but say he loses. They're not gonna compete with Islam for the come on, bro. Or if they do, it wouldn't make sense. You're gonna cut down to 155, you're barely making it now, you're drained, it's barely healthy for you at this point. You're gonna cut back down after being at 170, fighting at 170, getting your body prepared for 170. And you don't want to half-ass going up 15 pounds. You don't want to half-ass it. You want to do it the correct way. You don't want to half-ass it. You really do not want to half-ass it. It's a big difference between 45 and 55 and then 55 and 70. It's just a big difference. That's why we call them the lighter weight classes. 170 is not a light weight class at all. It's the lightest of the heavier weight classes, but it is a heavier weight classes. I mean, those guys at 170 could be fighting at 185. We saw Kamaru Usman at 185. It looked like he should be there. That's where he should be fighting. You know what I mean? It's a big jump up once you start getting up there. The 70s are really 85ers. The 85ers are really 205ers. You don't want to half-ass this. You want to go all in. You want to commit. And you don't even want to have that door open in the back of your mind. Well, if I lose, brother. No, there is no losing. That's how you need to come into this. And I'm sure he's coming into that already, but I'm tired of interim champions when there's no injury involved. We don't need an interim champion every time something happens with the champion. Oh, my God, bruh. I'm still stuck on Bilal fumbling. I'm still stuck. I'm happy for JDM. I feel like I got to keep saying that because I don't want to sound like I'm hating on JDM. And obviously, Bilal being champion isn't the greatest thing and it's not really great for business. I understand. But I think Ilya showed what should be the standard. And I think the UFC should strip Islam if he does decide to move up. I really, really do. I don't think they should give him the choice. Let's preview Makhachev and JDM. Very interesting fight. JDM just put on a great performance. I think Bilal had a bad game plan and started implementing his wrestling seriously because, like I said, in rounds 1 through 3, he didn't shoot in 3. But 1 and 2, he was really only shooting to set up the overhand, which one he landed, I think, in the second round. He's really shooting to try to drop JDM's hands down. But, Bilal, he chain wrestles. He doesn't shoot one, get his stuff, and then stop. Bilal's not a guy who's going to get you every time on the first shot. He chain wrestles. He chains it together and then gets you down. He was trying to go out there and kickbox with JDM. Terrible fucking game plan. But Islam has something that Bilal doesn't. It's the finishing upside. He's going out there to finish. He has a submission threat. He can knock somebody out on the feet. He is super hard to hit. He doesn't just rely on relentless pressure coming forward, eating one just so I can land one. Islam is very technical. He's very defensively sound. He's the most well-rounded fighter in the sport. He's pound for pound for a reason. And I love this matchup because it's going to show pound for pound rankings matter. If you're number 1 pound for pound, you should be able to compete with anybody above you and underneath you. That's how I feel. That's what pound for pound is. Oh, my God. We're not going to get Ilya versus Islam. It's going to be very interesting. The better striker, probably JDM, but he's going to be very, very patient in this fight. And Islam has a bit of a patient man style. He's defense first on the feet, but when this fight hits the ground, because it is going to hit the ground, because he's going to try to get it to the ground, seriously try to get it to ground as well. He's going to be hunting for submissions. Now, JDM is a escape artist. He's an escape artist to the highest effect. He's great at getting knee shields. He's great at pushing off. He's great at scrambling. He's an escape artist. But Islam's the type of grappler where he wants you to try to scramble. He wants you to try to get away because that's when he's going to lock up the submissions. Like with Bilal, you can feel comfortable going to your knees on Bilal and getting up. You can't go to your knees with Islam. You just cannot go to your knees with Islam. It's going to be a very, very interesting fight. I'm happy to see because JDM's not the biggest 170er, but he's pretty big in there. He's pretty big. He's pretty fucking big. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the strength carries, how the power carries. He should vacate, though. I think he's making a huge mistake by not vacating. He's holding up the lightweight division, whether you believe it or not, by not vacating. Yeah, and you could say, well, Cam, he could still vacate, and they could just elevate whoever's the interim champion up. You're right, but I don't want Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria in there for the interim championship. And new interim champion. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. If they're not going to get the chance to beat the champion, they shouldn't be elevated from interim champ to champion status. Let them fight for the vacant title, just like Volk and Diego Lopez did. And let's keep the divisions moving. We don't even need to have that asterisk on the division. It always works out bad. It never works out like that. We don't even need the asterisk on the division. I'm harping on the same points. Ilia did the right thing. Islam's never gonna fight at 155 ever again. We know that. So I don't understand why we're acting like that's not. We know this. Dude, he's getting older. He's already fucking huge. The weight cut's getting ridiculous. And it's gonna get to a point where he's not fighting healthy. He's fighting with a diminished durability. He's fighting with diminished cardio. Dude, 170 Islam's probably gonna be the best Islam we've ever seen. He is going to have a way, way better chin. He's going to be faster. He's going to have that lighter man skill. He's going to have much better cardio. He's going to be in better shape. He's going to be healthier. Fully commit. Do it the right way. I don't want to see a fat Islam. Well, not a fat Islam, but an Islam with a high body fat percentage at 170. Pack on that muscle. Do it the right way. Commit fully to 170. And leave the lightweight division behind. And plus, you're saying, there's no challengers, no real contender. There's no real contender, brother. He's bored. He's bored at 55. Leave it in the past. Chase the legacy, brother. We just lost out on one of the greatest fights ever. We got two really, really good matchups out of it, though. But we lost out on one of the greatest fights of all time. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody I know they enjoy just like you did. You ain't got to go home. You got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.